I boarding this in correctly will be fun, but otherwise,
I hope all of my opponents play that card against me. Engrass Marauders, 7 mana 4/4 pirate. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage to that permanent or player instead.
too expensive.
Yep.
Pretty good though. I mean, it basically gives all you guys double strike.
Yeah, it's like a sealed card.
Yeah, it's not so good that I think that you would want to play red because of this card. But
Yep.
you'll play this if you're red and you expect the game to go long.
Bonded Horncrest is a very fancy dinosaur. 4 mana for a 5/5 dino, can't attack or block alone. See, Bonded means something,
Right.
unlike Companion
Bonded,
on the 3/1.
bonded companion wouldn't be able to attack at all.
It would need a lot of emotional support.
I think when you hit 4 mana, this ability starts to really weigh on you in terms of how effective it is. Like Ember Beast, for example, and Goblin Flunkies, like it was cheap enough that the upside was attractive. But at 4 mana, you could play this, they kill your other blocker, and all of a sudden you don't have a turn 4. You can't afford to waste your turn 4.
It makes for a lot of really clunky draws.
So just be careful with this card.
Yeah.
This card will probably table too. So like if you know what you're doing, this card will be pretty good. But it's not exactly like that much better than like a 4 mana 4/4 with no disability. So like you're giving this better be a trivial disincentive almost all the time, and I don't think you can guarantee that. So kind of avoid this card.
Yep, agreed. Brazen Buccaneers, a good name as well. A 4 mana 2/2 pirate with haste and explore. Yes, please.
2/2 haste, draw a card, or 3/3 haste for 4. You know, I mean, yeah, these cards are just,
Have it both ways.
as long as you don't have too many of these so your deck's clunky, this just lets your deck not have drops, gives you some 4-drop Elvish Visionary 2/2s. You know, like every deck can use some Stripe Bears, and it's nice that every color has access to them.
Yep, and they're pretty well distributed along the curve too. Like there's like 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, 5-drop, and 6-drop. You know.
And because they're not super high power level, you can get them maybe like 9th through 12th pick in some scenario of the time, which means you might be able to reliably turn on these Explorer enablers if there's
Right.
more than
I mean,
one
maybe
of them.
these
It might
ones.
affect you, though.
The 2-drop ones are going to be like super.
Oh yeah, sure. The 4 mana ones are tableable.
Yeah. Burning Sun's Avatar, 3 RRR for a 6/6. ETB, deal 3 damage to target opponent and 3 damage to up to 1 target creature.
Fixed Inferno Titan.
Okay. Yeah, Fixed Inferno Titan is right, and still quite good.
I'll take it.
Probably like just out of constructible, but like bomb level in limited.
Yeah. The fact that it costs 3 red is the only thing that brings it down, and it does not. I mean, I still can't even see it. It's so high up there. It's so good. I mean, this is just insane. You thought Glorybringer was good. Jesus.
Sweet art, too. Captain Lannery Storm. 2/2 for 3. Legendary human pirate. Haste. When it attacks, you get a treasure. Whenever you sack a treasure, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Yeah, sure.
I mean, as long as none of those things are disabilities, 2/2 haste for 3 is almost playable enough as it is.
Yep.
And when it attacks, you get a mana back. Now it's a 2 mana 2/2 haste. And whenever you sacrifice treasure, which is easy to do, you know, yeah, I mean, this is just fine. And
You play this, attack, sack your thing, it gets bigger, Magma Spray the thing that was going to block it, and then you're just in Value Town.
Oh, this is good. Man, 3 damage to the opponent and the player. It's like the haste of Glorybringer with the vigilance and toughness of a ground, you know, and there's not as many fly. Oh man, I love that card.
It's sweet. It's going to be like right on that fringe of constructible at 6 and at triple R.
Yeah.
Captivating Crew, 4 mana for a 4/3 pirate, already great, but it just casts Active Treason.
Yeah, you know, we used to have spell shapers for this that couldn't. You needed to tap.
You needed to tap and discard a card to get this ability.
Yeah, on turn 8, you play this guy and take their creature, and then they have exactly 1 turn to figure out what the hell they're going to do. They are dead on the untap. And the fact that it's a 4 mana 4/3, I mean, it's a rare, so you're never going to see it. But holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's comical. We sail, we plunder, then we dance.
Red has the best rares of the set so far. These because red
These three are all great.
like rares that are efficient creatures on their own right that also have crazy abilities. Like they're always the best rares. You know, we're talking like
Yeah.
Abishan history. No, like Inferno Titan. We're talking like not Dark Confidant, but like what I can't even like Cloud Goat Ranger if it was a rare. Like I don't know. There's certain cards where because they're creatures and good on their own right and the ability's good, they go into a super hyper level of first pick. They're like zeroth picked.
Well, it's like we were talking about the Invokers earlier. Like the white one was a 2/1 flyer for 3. The green one was a 4/3 for 4. Like they're just good cards that you're playing anyway if they had no words on them.
Yeah.
And then you put 8 mana win the game on them.
Like if Imperious Perfect was a rare and you had an elf deck, you would take it before you opened the pack if you knew it was in there.
Yeah.
You know? Like it's just like the Captivating Crew isn't exactly on that level, but it's the kind of card where in sealed especially, you don't beat this card.
No, you do not.
Unless you remove it immediately. And for a 4-mana 4/3, there aren't cards that exist like that.
Nope. You curve into it and they're like still trying to deal with your stuff, like your onslaught, and then you just completely change the face of the game even further in your favor. It's bonkers.
They might lose if they play Shriekmaw every turn after that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, assuming they couldn't target that guy.
Charging Monstrosaur. This is just a T-Rex, so...
This inspired the Menacing Ogre post where I was like, we used to sideboard Menacing Ogre and we're... you know, and this card is like a 5-mana 5/5 trample haste with like no bidding at all. Like,
yeah, it's Reality Smasher without the reality smashing.
Yeah, Monstrosaur does your bidding for you, literally.
Yeah, it is going to be a nice top end for limited.
In fact, that's one red means you can splash it, which it's kind of the only saving grace that makes this not an insane red card. Because of treasures, you expect to see this coming out of any color deck.
Yeah,
on top
that's
of
very true. Yeah,
it's I mean, the name says it all. It is ridiculous. This toughness and this power and the haste, it will do 5 damage to you. You will not block, and you will have to deal with it on the untap. It's a quarter of your life. I mean, this card sets the tone of the whole game, and it does so at a 5-mana cost.
And the fact that those treasures are just everywhere and like lead to all these fucking backdoor blowouts just warms my heart. It reminds me of the
would make red too powerful. 1 red and 4, it makes the set scared of this card.
Right. Demolish. Yeah. Sure, it's Demolish.
What happened to the cycling one I liked?
Too good.
It was an exact copy of it at cycling.
Yeah, anyway. Too good.
Way too good.
Dinosaur Stampede. 3-mana instant. Attacking creatures get +2/+0 until end of turn. Dinosaurs you control gain trample. So it's Trumpet Blast plus. It's kind of weird because it like wants you to have dinosaurs, but dinosaurs aren't really the go wide.
But they could use trample.
But they could definitely use trample. Dual shot.
Yeah.
What? What were you gonna say?
This card. Oh, I was just gonna say, like, you're right in that. I almost wish it was more like Fortify. You know, you can get +2 in trample if they're dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You know, it just trample is just weird. Like every other version of this with like First Strike and like Haste and Menace or whatever, all the other version of this, trample is like supposed to be really good, but because it's dinosaurs, I'm like, I mean, I wouldn't be playing this card itself because with that's not going to attract me to play in a dinosaur deck because it has dinosaurs enabler. And if that's not true, then why do you have a dinosaur enabler in there?
Right. It just has the word dinosaur on the card, but like you're not putting this in your good dinosaur deck because your good dinosaur deck doesn't need to like trample to win. It just beats you over with
once
like
the clause turns on, the card's good. But the card's not good in the deck that the clause would turn on for, unless it's the white-red aggressive white early game dinosaur deck, and then maybe the white-red deck would play. But then again, historically, that's the only. Okay, I'm back on board. This card is good in the white-red dinosaur deck, and it will table, and you can.
But even white doesn't have that many cheap dinosaurs. You know, you're not making dinosaur tokens to go wide with.
Well, I think red and white have like the cheapest, most aggressive dinosaurs in a general sense.
Missing Matter makes a good point that the dinosaur we just looked at and talked about how great it was already has trample.
Well, half the games you win the game before you draw it in. Yeah, I just can't get over looking at this card how good it is. It's deceptive how good this card. remember looking at Spiritmonger and you like had to like sleep it off on several nights. Like, how could a card like this exist in a world such as this? You know, like Spiritmonger, no one, nothing else did. You're wondering like, why? How could it be so good? Is it responsible for us to make a card of this quality? like this card gives me that feeling. Like, it's not that I nothing can't deal with it. It's just irresponsible to have a card this efficient in a limited environment.
Fair enough.
It's fucking good.
Dual Shot. Great sideboard card. Probably not main deckable. We haven't seen that many X1s.
I was going to say that. Yep, you're right.
Fathom Fleet Firebrand. Grizzly Bear with a pretty decent ability for a Grizzly Bear.
Red is getting some 2-drops that are no longer Ironclaw Orcs. Ironclaw Orcs is a thing of the past. We have entered a new era where Red gets insane 2-drops.
Yep. Fiery Cannonade. 2R instant. Uncommon. Deal 2 damage to each non-pirate creature.
A little on the nose, but okay.
A little on the nose. This is one of those cards that's like weirdly backdoor constructible.
It should do damage to pirates if you control a pirate. I mean, like, cannons are used on other pirates, aren't they?
Yeah, it should deal damage to their pirates, not yours.
To each non-pirate creature, unless they're vampire pirates. We can go all day, but like it seems like Red doesn't actually have that many pirates. I'll have to go back. Maybe they do. No, geez, I'm so wrong. Every other creature almost is a pirate.
Yeah, there's a bunch of pirates.
So yeah, okay, this makes more sense. My comment was going to be that it's weird that Red has non-pirate, but that's not true. So this card will see play. Watch out for it. It's the fire spout of the set. So just you have to be aware of it.
Yeah.
It also makes all the 2/2s that explore and like raid to draw a card. It can undo all that card advantage if you are too aggressive with what you're trying to do. So keep in mind that if you're looking to maintain your edge and you don't want to do a win more situation, that if you keep playing all of your efficient draw cards because like, hey, I'll just have a million cards and I can't lose, they could rewind all of that in a split second unless you mix it up a little bit.
Yep. Oh, all those cards are pirates though, so it doesn't matter.
Holy shit. Man, that is some smart stuff. That someone that's thinking must have made that comment. So I mean, and it deepens the argument even further, right? Of non-pirates, dinosaurs, only the aggressive ones will die to this, and we'll have to see how many dinosaurs actually do die to it.
Well, even the really like good one that taps stuff is a 2/3. The vigilance one that can like hit things with its butt is a 2/3.
The vampires and human scouts will get hit by this.
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, the more this doesn't kill a goddamn thing.
Yeah. It seems like a card that's going to be more constructible in control decks.
I can't believe I spent a minute saying something that's not true.
Fire Short Keeper, 1/1 for 1.
It'll devastate Merfolk.
Yes, there you go. You found it. You found the answer. 1/1 for 1, Menace, good raid enabler, and 3 damage to each of up to 2 target creatures.
All right, I'll take that. That's something I'll take.
Yeah, this is worth 8 mana in a card.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a little bit on the unplayable side, but that's the first ability besides the Drain one where I was like, maybe, and Black has the raid already, but this card's like, this could change the game, late game. If I play this on turn 8, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And like, almost all the time.
Yup.
And it makes, this is the first one where I'm glad it taps.
Yeah. Fire Cannon Blast. 1 RR, sorcery sadly. 3 damage, target creature, raid 6 damage to that creature instead.
Well, it's not players, so they could have made it 20. I'm glad that it kills dinosaurs.
Yes.
I'm glad that there's a card that is cheap that has the potential to kill dinosaurs. I love that it's only dinosaur killable at raid.
Yeah,
it's
you have to attack into the dinosaur to kill the dinosaur.
Yeah, this kind of, I mean, this is kind of a beautiful card because it kind of sums up the whole set in a way. Like,
Pirates
it's nice that it
dinos.
encapsulates all different elements.
Yeah. Frenzied Raptor, 3 mana 4/2 dino, sure.
Like someone in the chat mentioned, it's another cannonade target. If there's enough of these more, then we can say how much more relevant it is. If there's a lot of toughness dinosaurs, I wouldn't have expected
4/2 is generally like a bad stat line because it just trades with pikers that everybody has, but
3/2 used to be like a solid filler, and now 4/2 is like a, well, do you have the deck for it?
Yep. Headstrong Brute. 3 mana 3/3 that cannot block, but it has menace if you control another pirate.
That's as good as a rock jockey's gonna get.
Yup. Hijack. Wasn't this like rare last set?
It was maybe uncommon, but it didn't turn on vehicles, and that pissed me off.
Yes, agreed.
Shouldn't it crew a vehicle? I mean, let's just really get get to what we're talking about.
I'm with you. I agree.
But
Yeah, active treasons are a thing, both in limited and occasionally in constructed. Just keep an
I
eye
wish it
out.
was an instant. I'm also glad it's not an instant.
Yeah, grab the
I
reins is a little fucked up.
I wish that they would have made a better version of this card because every set they make a new version of this card, and that's kind of a cool tradition. But this version seems uninspired, to say the least.
Yeah. Lightning Strike, another format-defining card for constructed, and slam dunk first pick in limited. Not too much to say about that.
Uncommon for the first time. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, it's too good to be common. Let's be real. Lightning Rig Crew, 3 mana 0/5. Tap, deal 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever you cast a pirate spell, untap it. So a really bad Lobber Crew.
Yeah.
Lobber Crew was great.
No joke. But it's a defender that lets them turn on raid, so it's not as efficient from a card advantage standpoint. But it's a good defender if you need if you need a Lobber Crew. This guy's here for you.
Yep. It's probably gonna be pretty good. Makeshift munitions. Speaking of goblin bombardments.
Oh yeah, this is
Yeah, 2 mana, pay 1 and sacrifice an artifact or creature, 1 damage to target creature or player. These are cards that are real scary. They have potential.
They can sack treasures. So this has like a lightning rift feel to it, where if you have a lot of treasures for free or on and off chance, then you can keep the chain going. That's nice.
Absolutely.
So keep your eye out. I mean, this card's not nothing as it is, but if you have like enough like free treasures and like tokens or whatever, like this will let you get value out of that. And in like a black-red deck, that could be all the difference.
Yep. I think it's like even sideboardable against like if a deck has both a lot of removal and a lot of X1s, you can just like blank a lot of their game plan. Nest Robber, another small dinosaur, Goblin Piker with haste.
Yep, that Steam Blast is looking not useless again.
Otepec Huntmaster.
Oh, worth mentioning that the 2/1 haste is a common, so you'll be seeing this a lot.
Yes, good point. Huntmaster. This is the banneret for dinos. It's a 1/2 for 2. Dino spells cost 1 less to cast. Tap it. Target dino gains haste until end of turn.
Sign me up. That's a version of this card where it's not great, but it's good in the deck that it's in, which the white one can't claim.
Correct. Yeah,
this one you can actually play in those decks.
This thing will fuck people up. Like you curve out with this thing, it's just over.
They give things that have 5 or more attack haste, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Those are the ones I want to give haste.
It's basically like it comes 2 turns earlier because you cast it a turn earlier and then it attacks right away.
Yeah, Dragon Speaker Shaman, Dinosaur Speaker Shaman.
Yeah, basically 2 time walks.
Yeah.
Rampaging Ferocidon, 3/3 for 3 menace. It's a rare. Players can't gain life, and whenever another creature enters the battlefield, this deals 1 damage to that creature's controller.
Jeez.
Yeah, this is...
Solstice just wasn't that good, guys. It wasn't that good.
Yeah, this thing is good. I mean, probably close to constructible. 3 toughness sucks for like lightning strikes and whatnot, but...
We'll be seeing it in the Moto Cube, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah. Raptor Hatchling, another small thing. 1/1 for 2 enrage, so whenever it's dealt damage, you get a 3/3 green dinosaur token with trample. Presumably,
you're gonna like it.
Yeah, I mean this is just the black cards that we were talking about earlier, except it's red.
It's a little bit worse because you don't always get the token, but it's a little bit better because you're probably gonna get the token.
Because you get to like chump and get the token.
Yeah, so instead of a 1/1 into a 2/2, you get a 1/1 into a 3/3, and you kind of run the show. And like if you can increase its toughness, things get out of control pretty quick.
Yes. And that's going to be a theme for the enraged cards. Like, if you can find a consistent source of damage, and they have more than 1 toughness, or you give them more than 1 toughness, it's going to be sick.
You'll make your opponents vomit, pretty quick.
Repeating Barrage. 1 RR sorcery, deal 3 damage. Target creature or player, raid 5, return it from your graveyard to your hand. Activate this ability only if you attacked. This card looks familiar.
Thunderblade Charge was way worse and also unplayable. But
Well,
this
Hammer
card,
Bogarden was the one I was thinking of.
well, Thunderblade Charge is literally almost the same card. It's 3 damage to a creature or player. Whenever one of our creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, and it's in your graveyard, you may pay 2 RRR, and you can cast it again without paying its mana cost. So it's like it has to do with combat instead of upkeep. So, but
Right.
that notwithstanding, nothing wrong with the card. It's good, but it's not going to be a constructed monster because the kind of card that wants to repeat the effect is not going to be the one that wants to bank it on attacking.
Correct.
Although Runamap Red maybe benefits from additional, whatever, inevitability.
Yeah, mana dumps.
So that remains to be seen.
Well, it would be
course,
like a one of
the
at
image is
most,
not bad
right?
anyway. Huh?
It would be a one of at most, right?
Yeah, you would just want to have access to a card like that.
Yeah, they don't
deck.
stack at all.
Maybe two. The effect itself isn't underpowered, but it's not a card you want to, saturate your deck with an expensive damage card. It's just not useless.
Obviously, great limited, but
yeah. We should mention how insane it is in limited.
Yeah.
In that, you don't. Yeah, this card's great.
Yep. Rigging Runner, another 1/1 Goblin Pirate with first strike, raid, ETB with a ++1 counter on it. Meh.
It's fine.
Yep. Like, probably not quite playable, but like fine filler if you need it.
It's worse than it looks, I think. People are going to be trying to think of this as a 2/2 for 1 red, but that's only true if you don't play a 2-drop, or you play a 2-drop and a 1-drop on turn 3.
Yeah.
It's like a curve filler rather than a 1-drop, and that's a big difference.
It's only good if it's not good in limited. It's too hard to make work in limited. But in constructed, it's only good if you're the all 1-drop.
I actually think it's good in limited because it's a 2/2 first strike that you'd pay 2 to 3 mana for in the first place. So it's a kind of a curve filler. So I think it'll be good in limited, but it's not going to be. It's easy to overvalue this card or misevaluate this card in that it's not a 2/2 first strike for 1. That's not what it is. It's a different card.
Ryle, speaking of enrage. Sorry, what?
Yeah, I mean it's more like it costs less if you've attacked rather than like being a 1. It's either a 1/1 first strike for 1 or a curve filler, but not both. Like it's not like a. You have to have a bad curve for this to be good. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Or stuff in turn 3.
Insane infinite red mana on an attacker? What?
It is good. I think that card's good.
Ryle, R, sorcery. Deal 1 damage to target creature you control. That creature gains trample on a turn. Draw a card. So this is just an enrage card. You can give your Dino trample. You can just cycle it most of the time. It's
one of those cards where it'll enable the whole. It's like spiders spawning or whatever. Yeah, not that good, but it's a deck. It's what you revolve decks around. Like a deck could be like go from bad to great by having 0 to 4 of these.
Right.
Like this is the kind of card that makes your deck insane if you have the right enablers. It's like Surge of Thoughtweft all over again.
Yep.
It's like if you have the perfect deck for it, it's like unstoppably good.
And like the downside is pretty low.
You're right. You can just take it and then maybe it's a cycler or don't play it at all. Like it's not but you have to take this high. Like it won't table because the people I think will be quickly attracted to the value it can provide.
Yes. Rowdy Crew. 3/3 for 4. Pirate Trample. ETB, draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards at random. If 2 cards that share a card type are discarded this way, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Rowdy Crew. So if that last line didn't exist, this card would still be good.
Yeah. And the fact that you have a chance to do this is pretty cool. It's a fixed Balduvian Hordes, and the idea that you will draw a card off this card.
You get your card back no matter what. It's especially good late game, like as your last card you play, where like your hand is, your 8th and 9th lands that you don't need, because you have a higher chance of discarding the lands once you go up to your 5. And yeah, it's I'm trying to do some like napkin math in my head, but it's like about a third of the time, like a little under a third of the time maybe. It's about like 30-ish% of the time. I'm sure somebody will run the numbers for me.
Frank Karsten already did, and I will link the chat to the article.
Frank Karsten ran the numbers. Shocking.
In a big way.
All right, my brainified napkin math says about 30%.
You're not so off.
I'm not off?
I don't think so. We will see. The article is literally called Magic Math Ixalan.
LOL. There's the link.
I've linked it to the chat, and you will see. It is almost
Oh,
all
it's
the
the
way.
first one.
Oh, sorry, it's the first one. Yeah.
Drawing 3 cards, blah, blah, blah. Figure out how it'll look at the deck.
The results are below, and it shows 30% mix.
Empty hand, 36%. With 1 land, 38%. With 1 instant, 26%. With 1 creature, 38, almost 39%. So it's a little better than 30%. It's
Yeah, but in limited, you have a mix of
35-ish,
instant
36-ish.
Yeah. There's a little bit more of a mix of card type and limited in some sense, but you can control that as well. But yeah, 30% is a pretty good like rubric, I think.
I would go off of like a third, like a 33% for limited.
Third. And especially that you can hold lands. Like it's good when you're land screwed, so it kind of is better when it's good anyway.
Yes.
So like when you're holding 4 lands and you cast this, it's going to be good in that spot, which is where you want it to be good. So it's like double good.
Yep. Agreed.
In general, though, all you get is the extra 2/2 counters, right? So it's not even the main purpose of the card. The main purpose of the card is that, dude, it's a 4 mana 3/3 triple that draws a card. Like they don't make cards like this anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of getting rid of excess lands, Rummaging Goblin. Good to see him back.
You know, I didn't miss him when he was gone, but I'm glad he's here.
Yeah, same. Star of Extinction. A little on the nose. But I like it. I like the like super obvious top-down design. I fucking love it. I'm a sucker for those.
I am also a sucker. I used to not admit it. But I'm a huge sucker for like yeah, that should exist.
I wish it cost 6 instead of 7, but
Yeah. 7's my lucky number.
blows up all
Land it should it feels like the kind of thing that would destroy more than just one land.
Yeah.
But,
But you know, they don't print Armageddons anymore.
I do get it.
I like that like they can just blank the card by like bouncing their land somehow.
Oh sure. Which
Like they just make the meteor miss the earth. But
you
but,
are
like,
smart. Dude, that's cool. That's awesome.
like the whole planet
love
just
this-
like whoop like slips by like
Dude,
a fucking
I'll daze it and they'll pay it and then they'll have this smirk on their face and then it fizzles when I let them go. I have to kind of tap them on the shoulder from the front.
I dig it. Stormfleet Arsonist, 5 mana 4/4 Orc Pirate, raid when it ETBs, if you attacked, they sack a permanent.
They'll
Solid.
just sack a land. Who cares?
I mean it's solid like top end filler, like
Oh yeah, I mean it's a.
you're gonna play
it's a
your
fortress.
nomad anyway, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely true. And they can sack a treasure or a land, but it's got something going for it. It's
Yeah.
not like it's awful.
No,
but
it's value.
I wish it was sack like an artifact or a creature. Then if they have a treasure, they can sack the treasure. Otherwise, it's a creature. You know,
Yeah,
like
I like
that
that.
would be. It'd probably be on the side of too good, but it would be more interesting. This card's just like kill a land. It's like whatever. I'd rather almost say destroy target land. That'd be better.
Yeah. Stormfleet Pyromancer, 3/2 for 5. Human Pirate Wizard. Raid, ETB, if you attack this turn, shock something.
You're gonna want to take this card early and often. It's wonderful.
Yeah, this is a much better version of that last card.
Yeah, I mean, Flametoad Cabo was way too good. And every iteration since then has been playable.
It's been
no matter
highly
what they try to do.
pickable.
They've never made a version of this that's been bad, no matter what it costs.
Yeah. Suncrown Hunters, 6 mana 5/4 Dino. Enrage, nug them for 3.
Yeah.
Sure.
So one of the worst ones, but that means it basically has afflict 3 in a way too.
Yes. But like a 5/4 is not a body that you really need to double block 100% of the time, you know.
Yeah, you give up some. Yeah, I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
In fact,
Summer's
I think
Invocation.
if they dual block it, I think it only does 3 damage anyway.
Yeah,
because
unless one of them has first strike.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Sunbird's Invocation, 6 mana, enchantment. Oh, here we go. Rare, obviously. Whenever you cast the spell from your hand, reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is that spell's converted mana cost. You may cast the card revealed this way with converted mana cost X or less without paying its mana cost. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order.
Okay. I mean, it's,
Like crazy build around. I mean, it would be a build around if it cost 3, but it costs 6, so it's just going to be a casual card.
yeah, it's not
It's
as
not like
foretold.
Cascade at all, because like Cascade, giving all your things Cascade makes your 3 mana spell really good. This does not make
Not
your 3 mana spell really good.
it's not as enticing as foretold.
Yes, exactly. Sure Strike. 1R, instant, +3/+0 in first strike. Good clean combat trick. Another cheap one for your treasure mana to be used on unexpectedly. Swashbuckling. 1R, enchantment, +2/+2 in haste. We've seen this card before. It's pretty much never been good. I see no reason why this one would be any better.
It is +2/+2, but I agree. It's Maniacal Rage had a better upside than this does, and that says a lot.
Yeah. Thrasher Raptors.
True Strike. It's weird that they cost 2 for these red combat tricks, but anyway.
Yeah, you would think like red is fast and I don't know.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Thrash of Raptors, 4 mana 3/3 dino. As long as you control another dino, it's a 5/3 trample. Sure, bread and butter filler card for your dino deck.
Wasn't there like a mongrel, the red mongrel, where it gets the same thing if you control an artifact, and it was very good in that set.
Yep.
So I expect it to be pretty good in this set too.
Yep. Yeah, it's legit. Tilanali's Knight. I don't know who these people are, but it's a grizzly bear, and whenever it attacks, if you have a dino, then it attacks as a 3/3.
It's unexciting, but it's still
Unexciting.
it will be good in a like you have a mono red or a red white really aggressive deck.
Yeah.
This is going to be like that. What was that card? That green guy that was in the forest. It was hiding by a tree, and like it gave ++1 about humans. What was that card?
No idea. But this is one of those cards that's like it's a good cheap drop to fill out your curve in your dinosaur deck, but it is a dinosaur. It's a card that goes in a dinosaur deck that is not itself a dinosaur, so you have to be careful because you don't want your if you have too many of those, then you don't have enough dinos.
Great point. Like unlike Hamlet Captain was the card I was thinking of.
Yes, Hamlet Captain.
Where it has an ability where like it's a 2/2 anyway, but if you can make it good, it's like could be really good.
Yeah.
This guy has less of a payoff and more of a liability if you want to go for dinosaur synergies as a main theme. But if you just have both in your deck, dinosaurs and guys, and there's some mild synergy, this guy's just going to be a 3/3 pretty often, which is nice.
Yep.
And red has the cheapest dinosaur, so you can rely on it.
Tilanali's Skin Shifter is an interesting card. A 3 mana 0/1 human shaman haste. Whenever it attacks, it becomes a copy of another target non-legendary attacking creature until end of turn. So you can't copy their stuff. You have to copy one of your own. And
Bizarre.
if you're attacking with something that's like unbeatable, then like a second one's not necessary. And if it is beatable, then they'll just take the hit from this thing and take down the thing that you're copying, and then it won't have anything to copy next turn.
On top of that, clone's best properties are the come into play abilities, and you don't even get that.
Yeah.
And you don't get when it attacks triggers.
Yeah,
This card
its
sucks.
2 best abilities are comes into play abilities and copying their shit.
If this card's good, I'll be mad because I just hate it and it sucks.
It's also really funny that if you attack with this, you have to target the other attacking creature. So if they just kill it, then this is just an 0/1.
Yeah, I mean it should be whenever it's blocked, it can opt to choose to morph into the blocker as well. Then we'd have something.
Ooh, I would like that. Yeah, this card is.
Whenever it touches or is near or whatever. But as it is, it's just bizarrely, like unnecessarily limited in power. Where like even if it was the best version of what it's trying to be, it wouldn't be that good.
Yep. Trove of Temptation, 4 mana enchantment, uncommon. Each opponent must attack you or a planeswalker you control with at least one creature each combat if able. Kind of an interesting ability. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token. Period. You just get treasure tokens.
Yeah. So it's nice that, the temptation flavor is really apparent here because attack with one, well, I might as well attack with more. You really feel the emotion as the attacker.
Yes. It's like, if I'm sending my best guy, then he gets a free combo block. If I send my worst guy, then he just eats it. So I have to send everything to make my attack good.
Right.
Plus, you want to end the game anyway because they're just piling up treasures. They're gonna blow you out with something somehow. I like this card. Well, I like the idea of forced attacks. Like, there's been times where that's good and nobody recognized it except me, and I got a lot of value out of it. So I'm a sucker for that ability.
Remember Luring Siren? I know you did.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Luring Siren was the beginning of that whole trend.
Yep.
But the fact that you get the colorless tokens every turn gives it kind of a what was that card that gave the 0/1 tokens that made mana? The green one?
Yeah, the Eldrazi Scion maker.
Yeah. So, like, there's a little bit of that to it, but I think this is on the worst side of it. I think in general...
because the point of those things were to chump block. But I do like that with the 1-mana combat tricks. Like, you get the treasure token right away. It's end step. So you play it, you get a treasure token, and then they're like, oh shit, I have to attack. And then you're like, haha, trick. I don't know, it might be playable. Unfriendly Fire, 5 mana, 4 damage to anything at instant speed. Sure. Not even close to constructible, but good and limited.
You will play it in limited. It's high pick and limited. The fact that you can go upstairs is nice.
Yup. Oh, I've lava axed some people out of some fucking games.
I tell you what.
There's a great story. You know Corey McDuffie?
Oh yeah.
He tells this story of like the first time that he like saw me or met me. I was in a money draft, or excuse me, a team draft, and I think I was playing against. God, who was it? Maybe. I want to say like your chick or someone. Your chick or like Josh Ludica, one of those guys, you know?
Yeah.
And I have. It's kind of hard to show on camera, but I have like one card in my hand is just like on the table in front of me, and then my deck is off to the side, and my opponent's at like 5, and so I go to draw my card. This card's just like on the table. You draw the card, and I like really like I smash the top of my deck, and I pull it up, and I like hold it up real high and just look at it, and with the other hand flip over Lava Axe. And I just like looked at it for like 2 minutes, and finally, your chick like looked back down and was like, "Oh, it was the Rakdos one, the instant speed one." But it's just like a horrible BM, my friend, and McDuffie's like, "This guy's a fucking asshole," but that was pretty funny, you know.
When you're right in that range of like, I can't believe you did that, to like, I can't believe you did that. Then, like, you get away with a lot with the people that you're supposed to love, you know?
Yeah.
So, they're your friends, you know, the ones you're supposed to treat well. But
yeah, they're the ones you treat the worst.
Sliver of space. You know, it's the kind of person where, like, there's only a few people that I'd respect if they slow rolled a sudden shock for 8 turns.
Yeah.
And they're all friends of mine who I would hope wouldn't hurt me in that way.
Well, you know my story about that, right?
Oh, I know the sudden shock with bathroom one, right?
The bathroom is yours. I'm talking about the Owen, Jeff Ravowski one.
I might know this.
At the Time Spiral pre-release, they were holding a 2HG tournament for whatever reason.
Owen was always in the cutting edge of BM.
Yeah. Oh, well past it, you mean? Yeah. And he's playing with Jeff Ravowski, who, if you don't know,
I mean, the first to know if there's a BM move on a new card is what I mean.
Oh yeah, for sure. Jeff like basically invented Legacy Threshold like a million years ago.
Oh yeah.
Played a couple pro tours, super good guy. He's playing with Owen in this thing, and it's like the top 4 match before the finals, and the prize for this thing was just absurd because pre-releases had absurd prices back then. And they go to turns, and it's turn 1 of 3. There's only 3 turns in a 2HG game. And the opponents are at like 1 or 2, and Jeff just like draws sudden shock, and he's like, "Oh, you're dead." And Owen's like, "What are you doing? Like, we had a full turn cycle to slow roll that."
I would have had such a great emotion if you would have just done it. You realize with the emotional, like, you just quashed all of this.
There's like 10 people sitting around watching. Like everybody else that was in that tournament, including the opponents that they were going to play the next round, were all watching. I was
just thinking like, oh my god, all these dinner stories I could have told.
I can't believe you just cast it. Oh,
such a weight of emotional resources that it became a story in its own right.
Yeah, Owen like didn't want to play the finals. He like had to go calm down. He was so mad.
Oh, I can't believe you didn't recognize the beauty of this. It's like when someone the Mona Lisa, you know?
Yeah, pretty good. All right, moving on. Wily
Yeah.
Goblin. RR for a 1/1 Goblin Pirate. That's
This
interesting.
guy's good. I love this card.
ETB, get a treasure.
No,
Fuck yeah.
I mean, it's not that it's too good. I just love what it's doing. I mean, this card might see play in Legacy Goblins.
I like it a lot. I mean, I think that like these things that like give you value like two ways, like going in and going out, you know? Like
Yeah.
you could just throw this away to a raid or like to your sacrifice a creature ability or whatever, but like you're also just casting your 4-drop a turn early or, using your combat trick effectively. Like it just plays all sides of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, you can play this guy casually before combat and attack before you put the token into play, but your opponent like knows what you're doing because you asked him to reach into a pocket, And like in general, just kind of it lends itself to being like, oh, this is the only thing I'm doing this turn, but you can act this way like while you're
It
playing
is
the card.
absolutely
You're not misleading your opponent, but it's like the idea of it is like you're done with your turn when you play this card and tap out for it. But the treasure means that that's not true,
Yeah.
and it'll take about a month before people kind of get used to the idea of like ninjutsu of in this way. The ninjutsu of this set is the treasures can cast combat tricks.
It is truly well named because it is a wily card.
I do like that. I mean, like this is like Burning Tree Emissary for goblins in Legacy in some regard, but it doesn't. You can't make it cost 1 because it costs 2 red. But it also has a devotion to red aspect to it, where you can get a reduced price for 2 red mana symbols on a permanent.
Also true.
So who knows what this will be in the future.
All right, and that brings us to green. And we start with a huge fucking dinosaur.
Cutest of all of them, really.
Ancient
It's tough.
Brontodon.
But flavor text is just